Brookville Library for giving me this opportunity to present tonight a bit of my culture, a bit of my traditions through my dance, my art, my music, and also through sharing stories about Diwali with all of you. Thank you to Rachel, who kindly gave me this opportunity to showcase Odissi as well. Odissi is one of the ancient classical dance styles from India that I master in, and I am proud to present it tonight and showcase it and show you a little bit of the nuances of the dance. In addition to that, we have a little strong garland of performances where we will showcase regional performances from the different parts of India to show you a glimpse of the different styles of dances that comes from the different parts of India. My students will be performing it. And then we also have a little storytelling between me and my niece where we are trying to figure out what Diwali is all about. But first and foremost, we will be presenting a pure classical dance style in Odissi, which I'll be discussing and telling you a little bit about the dance style of Odissi. I hope you will enjoy this presentation and you will enjoy the rest of the presentations that is coming up. Let me tell you a little bit about Odissi classical dance. Odissi classical dance is one of the 8 classical dances that hails from the eastern state of Odisha in India. Its origin dates back to the 2nd century BC. It started as a religious dance form in the temples, but has hence moved out and joined the mainstream performing art. The dance style, even though it originates in such a long time ago, the modern form of Odissi that you see today is very much post-independence of India. Even though the lifetime of Odissi dance, the way we know it today, is very small, it has reached the nooks and corners of the world because of its graceful, fluid motions as well as very intricate footwork. The isolations in Odissi is tremendous. That is my fascination with Odissi. I started learning at the age of 3 and have never looked back. It took me a long 18 to 20 years to finish my master's, and then when I came to this country, that was my identity. It grounded me, it gave me an opportunity to talk about my culture, and also it gave me a tremendous amount of confidence as to where I belong from. So I have started teaching about, I would say, 20 years ago and performing in the US, all over the US, and almost I performed in more than 10 countries around the world and continue to do so. So what is Odissi? Odissi style comes from Odisha, like I have mentioned, and it is a very classically disciplined style that follows the Natya Shastra. The basic position in Odissi is called the chok, which is a square position of the hand and the feet, and most of the stances start from this basic position. The second position in Odissi is called the Tribhanga, which is the tri-bend position of the body, which is the head, the neck, the torso, and the feet. So these are just some of the basic stances that we develop and learn before we go into the repertory pieces. The another beautiful aspect of this stance are the elaborate hand gestures that we use, which are called mudras. The mudras can be single hand gestures, a samyukta hasta, or double hand gestures, samyukta hasta. So there is an entire vocabulary of gestures. For example, pataka, tripataka, ardhapataka, kartari mukha, mayura, hansasya, just to demonstrate a few of the single. And similarly, the double hand gestures are samyukta hasta, like anjali, kapota, karkata, swastika, tola. Why do we use this? Because Indian classical dance is also heavy on storytelling, mythologies, and this is the best mode of communication is through your hand gestures, your body language, movement, as well as facial expressions. For example, how would you say a deer in a forest? This is a deer. This is a tree. This is a river. Wind. Where there is a theme or there is a message or there is an object and a subject, there is a characterization. Tonight I will bring to you a pure dance piece which is called a pallavi. So let's learn a little bit about what a pallavi is. The first piece that I will be presenting tonight will be a pallavi. A pallavi is one of my favorite rhythmic pieces within the repertoire. A typical Odissi repertoire will have 5 layers or presentations and can last anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours based on the stamina and the knowledge of the dancers. So it starts with what we call an invocatory piece, which is the Mangalacharan, followed by a pure dance piece called Battu, followed by Pallavi, which is what we will be presenting tonight, followed by Abhinaya, another favorite section of the repertoire where we are acting or where we use gestures and we communicate and we tell stories. And finally, we end with Moksha or salvation. So, in the interest of time, I will share one of my favorite pieces of the repertoire, which is the Pallavi. The Pallavi I present tonight is based on Rag Megh. What is a Rag? A Rag is a specific melodic combination that creates a mood for or a mood around. So in this case, Megh represents rain. So the mood of the Pallavi here is rain, and also it is based on a typical rhythmic pattern. A Pallavi means a budding flower. So just like a flower, from very slow, beautiful, graceful steps that you will see, it generates into more complex patterns of movement in time and space. The intensity gradually increases to a crescendo. What is very terrific about a Pallavi is that the dancer doesn't stop at any moment. The dancer continues to dance from the beginning to the end without having to stand or stay still even for a moment. And that kind of adds to the complexity of the Pallavis. This is a fairly recent Pallavi that I absolutely adore, and I hope you will also enjoy it. Have you ever wondered what Diwali actually is? If you have, you will enjoy the next presentation. It is a very sweet conversation that happened between me and my niece, where her curiosity about the festival kind of helped me shape what I thought would be interesting facts about Diwali. Please enjoy. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Diwali to begin with. My name is Anindita, and I'm an Indian classical dancer and a chemist and a scientist. Of course, I'm Indian by origin and definitely celebrate Diwali. So we thought on the eve of Diwali, we would like to celebrate it with you all, tell you why we celebrate Diwali, what is the purpose of it, where it comes from, what it means, and share the moral of the festival. Today I have with me my niece, Anvesha, and she has some very interesting questions about Diwali. Let's find out more. Hi, Anvesha, welcome. What questions do you have for me for Diwali?
Um, what is Diwali, Anindita Nanda?
So, like Anvesha asked, the very basic questions, right? What Diwali is. Diwali is the festival of lights. It's basically put, or very simply put, it means the joy of spreading happiness and brotherhood. And it signifies the win of good over evil. And it's celebrated in India, all over India actually, and now all over the world, including Washington, D.C., even in the Empire State Building. So what else did you want to ask me about Diwali?
What is the most important part of Diwali?
Besides the sweets, I love the way the whole house smells of beautiful sweets like laddu and jalebi made out of ghee. The main purpose of Diwali is to invite the goddess Lakshmi, and Ganesha to the house. You know, Lord Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. So, in a way, we welcome him to the family to remove the obstacles, and Goddess Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth. So, this is a very nice way of inviting wealth and goodness into your family. And we usually spend the time with our family and friends, right? We visit them, or we visit our elders, and we share gifts, and we also share pleasantries, and we wish everybody well around this time.
That was really good, Nani. How many days do we celebrate Diwali?
It's a great question, Anvesha. Different parts of India have celebrates different Diwali in a different manner. Mostly it is very short, which is 2 days, Choti Diwali and Badi Diwali, and the very long way of celebrating is for over 5 days of festivities. Yeah, starts with Choti Diwali, then there is Dhanteras, then there is Lakshmi Puja, then Govardhan Puja, and then finally there is Bhai Dooj in the east of India, and then there is Badi Diwali. So over a span of almost a week, you have all the festivities and different things of honoring different people on the different days. You know what Bhai Dooj is? Bhai Dooj is celebrating your brother. So you put a dot or you put a nice blessing on the forehead of your brother to wish him well in life, and to also ask him to be with you and protect you as your big brother or small brother. Isn't that an amazing thing to do around this time?
Yes.
Yes. And then on Vijayadashami, also there is a small festival that happens right before Diwali, which is Durga Puja. During Vijayadashami, we also visit our teachers, like your dance teacher or music teacher or art teacher, and we wish them well by giving them gifts and sweets and taking their blessings. So all in all, it is a festival that celebrates not just being together, but spreading happiness, joy, love, and brotherhood.
Oh wow, that was interesting, Nani. There's another question. What do we do in Diwali?
Oh, I'm glad I can. We are together on Diwali. Isn't that amazing? So, like we have spread it out here, right? We lit the lamp in front of the gods to get the blessings. We also light many, many lamps around the house and make everything bright and happy. We put flowers, sometimes we'll have fresh flowers around the house. We'll cook a lot of sweets like laddu, jalebi, gulab jamun, barfi, all of that. We spread rangoli, we make designs of flower which is colored, and we put even with flour, and there is something rangoli made out of gulal, which is like a colored powder that we make different designs and patterns. And this we do not just in front of the house, we also do inside, we do on the sides, and many such things. So all in all, we do a lot of things that we can do around Christmas. It's similar to one of the festivities, right? And we wrap gifts, and we make the trays of sweets that we bring to our family and friends in the evening when we visit them. But you know what my favorite part of Diwali is? What do you think? Guess it.
Being together?
Yes, of course, being together is important. But my favorite part is the fireworks we do at the end. You know, in the evening after we have had our scrumptious meals and food and delicacies, and we have wished each other well, everybody in the family goes out with your friends dance into an open area. We don't want to do fireworks inside. Safety first. We go out and all of us together, we burn a lot of crackers like fireworks, just like on the 4th of July. So it's kind of like 4th of July, Christmas, everything rolls into one festivity called Diwali. It is also called Deepavali from a Sanskrit word of Deepavali. So this is a very, very ancient tradition. It's new in the sense how it is celebrated. But do you know how long ago it was made?
No.
It's about 2500 years old tradition that's been followed. So it's been done for many, many, many years in India, and now it is celebrated all over the world, even in the Empire State Building. Last year I was invited to perform Indian classical dance, which is Odissi, which is my style, which you are also learning from me right now, right? So that is another traditional dance which is thousands of years old. And last year, when they did the lighting of the Empire State Building for Diwali, around this time, they invited me to perform and open for the ceremony. That was an amazing honor. And, I was totally feeling very blessed to be able to share my culture and my art in a festival, on the day of a festival that means so much to me.
I also want to be a dancer like you, Nani, one day.
For sure, Anvesha, you can be anything you want to be. Like I do science, I'm a former scientist, but I love to dance and sing. So I teach Indian classical dance and music to young people like you as well as older people. I travel the world. I have performed in more than 10 countries. I have represented India in many, many festivals outside of India. I was awarded the Distinguished Artist Award in Germany, in Berlin, a couple of years ago. And I definitely like to share my art with people like you and anybody who wants to learn. And that's what my school is for. It's called Surtal School of Dance and Music. And that's what we do. We groom or we teach Indian classical dance and music to everyone.
So, is there any story behind Diwali?
Yes, like many of the festivals in India, I'm glad you asked that questions. We have a very interesting story behind Diwali. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Yes. So there was a king back in the day whose name was Ram. You know, he was banished for by his father to the forest for 14 years. His wife Sita and his younger brother Lakshman came with him to the forest to live with him. They followed their father's orders because sometimes we have to listen to our parents, right? So that is a beautiful message you should always listen to your elders and your parents because they wish you well. So when he came back from the forest after 14 years to his kingdom, all his people loved him. He was one of the most loved king in the world. Okay? So when he came back after 14 years, so that he finds his palace, because those days there was no light, right? There was no electricity. So what the people did is they put lamps along the way, and they put 14 lamps along the way to mark the 14 years he was away from them. And when he saw the lamps, he felt welcome and joyous and happy and loved. So he came back to his kingdom, and that's also another reason why people celebrated his coming back. So they did the fireworks, they did the festivities, they did dance, music, theater, lamps, everything, all of it. That is one reason why Diwali is celebrated that way.
Oh wow.
Yes, I'm glad you like that story. There are many other stories like that because India is so diverse. There are different communities, there are different cultures. It is like a Europe, right? It's like many, many different countries in one place. Each state has its own cuisine, has its own way of dressing up, has its own festivals, has its own food, language. There are so many different languages. The last time I checked, and I might be wrong, but I think there was about 133 regional languages in India. So you can imagine, I know, right? So you can imagine how many different ways and purposes even Diwali can have. The other thing I know, because I'm from the east of India, is we celebrate Goddess Kali. She's the most powerful woman. So we are talking about women empowerment, right? We are talking about equality. That was started thousands of years ago in India because they celebrate a woman in this day, on this day as well, and that is called Kali Puja. Okay, on Kali Puja we do the same things, but we pray to Goddess Kali to give us strength, to give us perseverance, because as mothers, as sisters, as women, we do so much, we handle so much. So she is an epitome of all of this. So we pray to her to give us the same strength that she has so that we can lift the world on our shoulders, right? Be strong, be brave, be determined in our purpose, and do our jobs well. At the same time, be gentle and kind, and be very, very understanding of other people and their feelings. So she symbolizes that. So in the east of India, we pray to Goddess Kali. And as in the beginning, when I said we also pray to Ganesha, who is the remover of obstacles, and we pray to Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. So, right, it's all of this rolled into one festival. Isn't that an amazing festival then?
Yeah.
Yeah? Thank you for listening to us. I hope you had a very brief introduction to a festival, which we try to explain in a very short time. This is an amazing festival that spans from 4 to 5 days, celebrating a lot of things: brotherhood, love, happiness, sharing, kindness. And not only that, people light their houses with lamps, they make and bake sweets, they invite people for dinner, families get together, they get outside, get dressed up. Look at Anvesha and myself, how we dressed up nicely for the occasion of it. You wear your shiniest of things, and it's a happy time. Everybody goes out and buys gifts also for themselves and their family and friends. And the most important thing, the message of love, to spread love, to give love, to be a giver and a receiver of love, and the joy of celebrations, and also the triumph of good over evil. Always talking about the truthfulness, sticking to the truthfulness, and celebrating the truthfulness in people. Okay, and it's celebrated in India and all over the world. So from Anvesha and myself, we wish you a very, very happy and safe Deepavali. Stay safe and stay well. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and you learned a little bit about the Odissi classical dance style. There is more to come, and this is just the beginning of a beautiful journey. I hope to share and my art form more and more with you. And through the library and Rachel, we have spoken about future workshops and presentations where we'll be divulging into the vocabulary of the dance form, how we train the artists, how we train the students, what is the repertoire built on, and the very systematic approach we have, which I have developed with my studio here in Connecticut, Boston, as well as in New York, Manhattan, where we have put everything into programs which walks you through the gradual stages of the training. So this follows closely the training I had back in India and with my university. So it's a collaborative effort, and also we have designed many programs for actors that I would love to share, where we are talking about emotions, where how do we become a character, how do we get into that character and present it. So I hope you enjoyed it as much I enjoyed presenting it. Coming up next will be the cultural presentation, or the regional dances from the different parts of India by some of my senior students as well as junior students. They have put in a lot of heart into the presentation. So I will talk about it a little bit, and please enjoy it. This is a fun presentation which kind of touches the different corners or parts of India and brings a little bit of culture into your home. What we have done, or what my students have done, is taken a thematic song and kind of put steps from the different regional dance forms from the east, west, north, south of India, and also some of the classical dances from India, forms from India. But I have also learned Kathak and Bharatanatyam. India is a huge country, so it's very difficult to put everything together in such a short presentation, but we have tried to bring you a cultural bouquet from India on this occasion of Diwali and share it with you. Please enjoy the diversity cultural presentation. loved our little presentation where we touched upon classical, regional, semi-classical, and also the history behind Diwali and the purpose and why do we celebrate this festival, and how the festivities are all intertwined, whether it is through stories or dance, music, art, whatever it is. They are not there is a synergy between art and culture and society. It is a reflection of our emotions. When we are joyous, we dance. When we dance, we create love and affection for everybody. So through this dance presentation, and me and my friend, my